Eli Yufest is the CEO of Campaign Research. He joins me now because you've got a poll out. And let's talk, before we give the results of the poll, let's talk about the parameters of the poll, because officially the campaign can't start till May.
Right.
Tory says he's running for re-election, and some guy by the name of Ford says he's running for election.
Right.
There'll be another 50 candidates probably who are all lesser. But so how did you conduct your poll? Did you have 2 names in it, or 3 names, or 4 names?
Yeah, so right now the 3 main names, I guess, the 3 most popular names that we have is, of course, John Tory,
right,
Doug Ford, and this month we actually selected Desmond Cole.
Now, why is Ski in there? Because there was one poll before, which I call a push poll. They just stuck him in there for the heck of it. But I mean, no one seriously was considering Desmond Cole to be mayor.
Right. So
for him.
Right. So we do these polls almost every single month, and so we've been tracking. Typically, Mike Lane is sort of our perennial left-wing candidate that we throw in. But this month, because of the poll that I think that you were referring to, there is a little bit of buzz, I suppose, around Desmond Cole, and so we decided to track his popularity as well. Okay,
drum roll. Let's just bring on the results. What were the results?
So by a factor of 2 to 1, or just over 2 to 1, John Tory would be re-elected if the election were held tomorrow. He has the support of 56% of the Toronto electorate, versus Doug Ford at 27% and Desmond Cole way down at 6%.
Okay, so between then Ford and Tory, that's substantial. Now, can you forecast any growth for either of them? I mean, because some people are telling me anecdotally that Ford has a very solid base, but to grow that base is problematic.
Right. So you make a great point. So, like I said, we do this sort of analysis every single month. And last month we did what we call a strategic gap analysis. And really, Ford's ceiling is in and around the 30-33%. And so his limitation would be about 30%, whereas John Tory's is considerably higher. He's got more room to grow his base from.
Is that because he is not perceived to be either pole, either end of the polling spectrum?
Yeah, so there's no doubt if we look at sort of partisan politics and which of the main parties support which candidate, there's no doubt that John Tory has more support from Liberals, strong support from Conservatives, and even strong support from the NDP, whereas Doug Ford, he draws a lot of his support primarily from Conservative intenders.
Okay, let's just talk then about, so Tory is sort of in the middle, he's got support from all parties, Ford more over to the right. There's no one there from the left, but if there was a well-known left councillor, I mean, would that radically change things?
Yeah, so, like I said, every month we always have looked at Mike Lane. So, over the last 4 or 5 months, that's who we've selected. He's a relatively well-known left-wing councillor, comes from a well-known left-wing family. And so his support is in and around 15-17% month after month. It doesn't shake things up all that much. Anytime we look at, John Tory's support, it's always in and around 50-ish%. Doug Ford's has always been, the high 20s%. And then so, Mike Lane might get some of the, some left wing, and then some of the don't knows might actually gravitate to Mike Lane.
And Mike Layton is listening to this right now and said, there's no way I'm going to go for that because I want to be councillor for at least the next term. Thanks very much, Eli.